Hi there, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. We sit on the potential veranda for the Government Oval. Then after that, agriculture and tourism take the spotlight.
Many times we have so many things that we can't sell. We have, because sometimes all the farmers goes out and plant Irish potatoes, and it's too much. So what we do is just use the phone, same place in the field, get to them, and they try everything and they unload it.
There is much in store for you today. Stay with us.
5 designs in the Houses of Parliament design competition are contending for the People's Choice Award. Visit the National Gallery, 12 Ocean Boulevard, downtown Kingston, to view the exhibitions or online at orjaparliament.com. You may cast your votes by texting the code of your favorite design to 876-399-4774 or online at orjaparliament.com/vote/. Only 1 vote per person per day is accepted online and 5 texts per person for the voting period. Voting closes February 28 for the Houses of Parliament Design Competition People's Choice Award.
With Jamming. It's Reggae Month 2019. The streets dance as the nation recognizes this intangible cultural product it has given the world. Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Linstead and Kingston, the birthplace of reggae. There is an event for the young and the early followers of the music. Come on everybody, let's dress up and go out. Let's celebrate this beat that unites all races. Reggae Month 2019, celebrating reggae's legacy.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, February 26. Designs are being finalized for the Montego Bay bypass and the government will be signing with the Exim Bank shortly to finance the project. That announcement came from Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday at the groundbreaking ceremony for the development of the closed Harbour Bay beach.
That will increase your connectivity and that will make it easier for your economy to grow and expand.
According to Mr. Holness, a government centre will also be constructed in Montego Bay to facilitate easy access to information and services for citizens. He says land has already been identified, which will also accommodate a world-class performing arts centre.
So you could very well have within the product of tourism in Montego Bay, your own performing arts theatre and our culture well represented in the tourism product.
The Senate on Friday approved legislation to retake ownership of the 49% shares in Petrojam held by Venezuela. The compulsory acquisition shares in Petrojam Limited Act 2019 was piloted by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. She said the decision was in a bid to safeguard the country's energy security.
We now need to assess and redefine the refinery's future, and this can only be done by retaking control.
The Foreign Affairs Minister stressed that the action to reacquire Petrojam's shares did not reflect any change in Jamaica's free market policies or beliefs, nor its support of property rights. The bill was passed in the House of Representatives on February 19. Export regulations for the medicinal cannabis industry are expected to be finalized by the end of April. Jamaica Promotions Corporation JAMPRO Manager for Logistics and Infrastructure Don Gittens made the disclosure as he addressed a recent JIS think tank.
And once the export regulations is in place, then this allows you to export medical cannabis to other jurisdictions who have cannabis. And that's an excellent opportunity for anyone. So getting into cultivation is going to be key.
JAMPRO has responsibility for investment and promotion of the medical cannabis industry. Mr. Gittens told JIS News that based on weekly inquiries into the industry, the export regulations would be well received internationally.
And what it will do, it will probably garner more investments because the export regulations would have been finished. It says that Jamaica is ready for export, the export of medical cannabis, and it means that it will have more focus on the country as it relates to the enabling environment.
Government has allocated approximately $40.5 million to continue work under the Support for Sustainability of Education Sector Reform project. The project aims to continue improving students' performance across the education sector. It's being implemented by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The allocation for the 2019-20 fiscal year will go towards engaging consultants to identify and develop a plan of action for the strengthening of partnership between the Early Childhood Commission and the National Parenting Support Commission. It will also undertake improvement to the internal quality assurance system for 10 teacher training institutions and build the capacity of teachers' colleges for training in numeracy and science, among other things. The Support for Sustainability of Education Sector Reform project was implemented in 2017 and is expected to conclude in March 2020. Still on budget allocation, $3 billion has been earmarked to expand service delivery at public health facilities in the upcoming financial year. The work will be done as part of the Health Services Improvement Project and will include infrastructure development at 7 hospitals and 3 health centers. Among other things, sewage systems, laboratories, roofs and elevators will be upgraded, while standby generators and boilers will be repaired. The money will also be used for vector control, training of health personnel, and to purchase mental health buses, as well as diagnostic and medical equipment. An additional $216 million will go towards the program for the prevention, care and management of non-communicable diseases. And finally, the Ministry of Health has launched its first National School Moves Day. It will be celebrated on April 5 this year under the theme, Love Your Body, Treat Your Body Right. The initiative is part of the Ministry's Jamaica Moves in Schools program, a targeted component of the broader Jamaica Moves initiative to prevent and control non-communicable diseases, NCDs.
This is a direct response to addressing the behavioral risk factors which perpetuate the current non-communicable disease crisis, especially among our children and young people.
Dr. Spencer was representing the health minister at Friday's National Jamaica Day celebrations held at the National Arena. Over 8,000 students gathered at the venue to celebrate all things Jamaican. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Good day, ladies. We're going into communities to identify persons on the voters list over 40 years old who have died, so the EOJ can update their voters list.
Oh, Derek can't come off of the list now, and last year I'm dead.
Exactly.
From November 2018, the EOJ will be conducting a special exercise to remove the names of voters that have passed away from the voters list. You can help. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
Coming up, happenings within the office of the Prime Minister over the past week.
Lower House passes compulsory acquisition of shares in Petrojam Limited Act 2019. Ground broken for Montego Bay's $1.2 billion closed Harbour Beach project, and
I know it will serve the students here well, it will serve Jamaica well, and I encourage others to make the same kind of contribution.
You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan.
We cannot wait until Petrojam is run to the ground. Then we react. The duty of government is to see the threats and respond to them.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness in Parliament last Tuesday as he piloted legislation to retake Venezuela's 49% shares in the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam. As he opened the debate, Mr. Holness told the House that the bill was motivated purely by Jamaica's economic and energy security and followed numerous failed attempts to buy back the shares. Bought in 2007, the shares are owned by PDV Caribe, a subsidiary of Venezuela's PDVSA. PDVSA is currently facing sanctions by the United States, Canada, and some Latin American and European countries. Prime Minister Holness says these sanctions, coupled with PDV Caribe's delay in carrying out planned upgrades at Petrojam, made the bill a compulsory move.
From the technical and political persons who have worked across administrations on these matters, the ultimate result has been that Jamaica's energy security has been compromised by delay and inaction. We now need to assess and redefine the refinery's future, and this can only be done by retaking control.
The Prime Minister was quick to add that should Venezuela agree to sell its shares, the Jamaican government would accept and withdraw the legislation. He said the state would set aside funds in a bank account for the repurchase and have it placed in escrow. The bank account would also hold payments due to Venezuela under the 2007 sale agreement.
I want to make it absolutely clear to the membership of the House that up to the last minute, we would be willing to pursue the solution which would see the amicable transfer of shares and the placing of the resources of the value of those shares into escrow.
The House agreed and approved the passage of the Compulsory Acquisition of Shares in Petrojam Limited Act 2019. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was at Jamaica College to open an 8-lane, 400-meter synthetic track. It's located at the new Ashenheim Stadium on the school's compound. The donation came from the Ashenheim family with $30 million in support from the Ministries of Sport and Education.
I'm expecting that Jamaica College will be producing many great athletes now who will probably be performing on the Olympic stage and gaining Jamaica more medals. But more than that, it will reach the average student who will now have the facilities to develop their skills.
Jamaica College is now the first high school on the island to have its own stadium. It features state-of-the-art lighting, an international standard football field, and an initial seating capacity of about 2,000. There are plans to upgrade the seating to 5,000, install shot put and discus rings, a javelin area, as well as long and triple jump pits. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Carl Samuda, was also on the road Wednesday. He was in Hermitage, St. Anne, to commission the community's first ever water supply system. The $14.4 million project was carried out by Rural Water Supply Limited.
What we're trying to do is to make sure that no citizen is without access to clean, healthy water. That is our objective. Because you can't talk of prosperity and at the same time you have people walking miles to get a jug of water.
Minister Samuda also visited the Chalky Hill Infant and Primary School, where its water storage system was repaired at a cost of $1.6 million. By Friday, the Prime Minister was in the second city to break ground on the closed Harbour Beach Park project. Valued at $1.2 billion, the project is being carried out by the Urban Development Corporation and the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
So yes, the project will contribute to the public space and the beautification, but it will also significantly improve our resilience, certainly in terms of any weather shocks that may occur due to climate change. So an important part of this project, the repair of the grounds, is in keeping with our thrust of building resilient infrastructure.
Before that, the Prime Minister was at Jamaica House Tuesday meeting with representatives from CIBC First Caribbean International Bank. The team was headed by the bank's CEO, Colette Dehaney. Discussions centered on incorporating modern technology into the banking sector. And on Monday, the National Identification System NIDS project issued birth certificates to 10 Linstead St. Catherine residents. The birth papers were issued at no cost to the recipients and is part of an outreach program between the NIDS project team and the Registrar General's Department. Another outreach is planned for St. Mary this week. The birth certificates are provided as part of the NIDS project for Jamaicans who have never registered or are partially registered. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
If you now want pop down and fenke, you feel burn mosquito and run with dengue. So now make water cycle in open container. For them read up under danger. Usher them out, run them away. Zap them with the zapper and down them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household, now make them come in. If you know want pop down and fenke, if you burn mosquito and run with dengue. If pain lick your head and your joints and your eye, and you want fever meat and your temperature high, it could be dengue, don't hesitate. See a doctor, don't self-medicate. For some painkiller can make you bleed and you will try to recover and no succeed. We no want pop down and fenke, with the burn mosquito and run with dengue.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
We continue to feature the finalists in the House of Parliament design competition. On yesterday's show, we highlighted Ubuntu. Today, we sit on the veranda. Watch this.
Jamaica needs a new parliamentary building, and the government is intent on getting the job done. But first, we have to come up with the right design that will complement its new location, the National Heroes Park. Drawings have already been shortlisted to 5 groups of architects. Let's take a closer look at the grand veranda.
We tried our best to have a project that really we felt belonged to Jamaica and could really be the new future of the Jamaican Parliament. So we just really want to go in there and just knock it.
I'd like to talk a bit about the way the building works. We considered the building program to consist of 5 key areas: the chambers, the administrative facilities, the offices and meeting rooms for parliamentarians, support and ancillary services, and the monumental spaces. We've structured this building program over 3 key levels: the elevated podium, an intermediate level, and the ground level. On approach to the building, you go through a field of columns that uphold the roof plane, allowing us to have a delicately diaphanous building. This forecourt is the first of 4 monumental spaces, the veranda that wraps around the periphery of our shingled glass enclosure. The interior space is a grand arrival hall, which is the 2nd monumental space. These monumental spaces in the center of the building tie the entire building program together, unifying the bifurcated plan of the 2 chambers, which are the main volumes sitting on the podium. This grand hall affords an opportunity for multiple civic uses, for galas, ceremonies, a new venue for the national awards that overlook the monuments to our heroes. And this hall is filled with natural light that filters to the lower levels through a triple height atrium. And these next views here show you the great hall space. There's an approach up towards a cafe, which is wrapped in Jamaican cedar. And the 3rd image is that crisscross stair that gently brings you down through the building program. On the east side, we've got the Senate. Around the Senate chamber, we've got support services that really belong to the Senate, and the same thing is happening on the House side. And these are views of the House chamber. You can see the sort of soft, natural light being filtered through on the edge.
We've designed the dimensions of the canopies to basically attempt to eliminate any solar heat gain and basically allow the glass curtain wall to remain transparent. What you see here on the outside of the curtain wall is basically how the shingle starts to operate. So the shingling, basically the overlaps have a louver that's controllable that will allow air to move through and across the central space to keep a comfortable environment on the interior. Additionally, we think there's an opportunity to basically use the top of the canopy where we don't have the perforations for photovoltaics. And this would ideally help to light the site lighting as well as the building energies.
And we felt that we wanted to create a belvedere for people to be able to come to a place, to be able to observe on an elevated plane that's not over monumental. We really believe that this Parliament can not just be a home for the parliaments and the public of Jamaica, but also be a beacon of the progress of the nation in the 21st century. This could be an engine, an emblem of a new image of Jamaica.
We're really excited to first get into the top 5 and to then have this chance to talk to the jurors and to see what their responses were.
We gave it our very best and we're very hopeful that we'll come through.
Do you have a loved one, friend, or client who passed away since 1998? The Electoral Office of Jamaica needs your help to update the voters list with information for these persons, government agencies, churches, insurance companies, hospitals, and funeral homes, and you, the public. We want you to provide us with the records to confirm the status of these persons. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE or visit the nearest EOJ office. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
The Ministries of Tourism and Agriculture have combined efforts to launch a project that is to increase the use of local produce by hotels and attractions. More farmers are being linked with tourism buyers and operators. Take a look.
Many times we have so many things that we can't sell. We have, because sometimes all the farmers goes out and plant Irish potatoes, and it's too much. So what we do is just use the phone, same place in the field, get to them, and they try everything, and they unload it. Before them, we only have spoilage. We can't sell. So no matter how it glut in the whole island, they find a way to unload it.
Bye-bye farm produce glut. Alex is here to move farmers' produce onto the plates of visitors to our shores.
The Agri Linkages Exchange Center, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. What are you doing? Okay. So what do you have reaping now?
We have a portion of corn ready, you know.
Is that sweet corn? Okay, sir. Let me just add that to the database for you. How much corn are you reaping?
We have 12 dozen corn ready, you know.
What's the selling price? 120 per dozen?
So you can look the buyer for me anytime you're ready. You hear, boss?
Another problem, Mr. Willis. I'll post the information for you, and once the market is available, I'll give you a call and let you know. All right, Mr. Willis, thanks for calling.
As easy as that, farmers are reaping economic benefits through tourism. The Agri Linkages Exchange is an electronic platform where buyers and sellers of agricultural produce meet. Currently, there are agri-brokers who manage the platform. They operate from the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, St. Andrew office. It's a collaboration between the Ministries of Tourism and Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. The center has raked in more than $50 million in sales for approximately 400 farmers across the country.
This program is dedicated specifically to the farmers, and what we were trying to solve was the fact that a number of our hotel, especially our hotel purchasing personnel, had difficulty getting produce that was in season, out of season, or even where they were located. So you'll find that particular fruits that will be in abundance in the eastern end of the island never ever gets to the west, and vice versa. For example, mangoes. Mangoes are very abundant in the east. And again, the West would love to have some of the fruits that we have in abundance at one place. So the Agri Linkages Exchange platforms would have been a link to ensure that both buyers and sellers meet. At this point, we have 55 hotels on it. We have 7 agro-processors. We have about 5 retail operators, but the retail are really large personnel. And each day is another day in which persons are added.
I was at a production and marketing meeting in my community where we were discussing gluten, where we can unload our produce. So one of the RADA extension officer recommended us to Alex. I just get my phone, get registered, and that's it. Since Alex, we have more in demand than supply. It's been so good for us, trust me.
There are farmers who might not be technologically savvy to actually go on the system themselves, so they'll call into the center and ask, and these agro-brokers will be able to put them on the system.
On a daily basis, I would say we get from maybe 20 calls per day or so from farmers. A lot of the calls that we do get, surprisingly, are farmers who are new to agriculture. They are curious about what Alex is about. Persons are now realizing that technology, agriculture, and production can all mix.
We supply and deliver
produce, fruits, vegetables to hotels and restaurants. It's about 10 hotels that we supply on a weekly basis. Hotels that we supply, it's from small to large hotels. We found out about the Alex Center through a farmer. It is a very good initiative.
On a daily basis, we probably make contact with 20-30 buyers on behalf of our farmers, and they themselves, the buyers do call the center. Buyers request a varied amount of quantity produce depending on what the usage is. If it's for agro-processing or export, the volumes will range from as small as a small agro-processor may need 80 pounds of sorrel or 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, but then you have an exporter who will need 10,000 pounds of sweet potato, 15,000 pounds of pumpkin, 20,000 pounds of other produce. So the volumes vary depending on the usage. We walk with the farmers and we stay with them until the transaction is completed, until they're paid, until the goods are delivered.
Our hotels are interested in buying local produce. There's really no substitute for the produce that we actually produce here. If you were to import any of our grown provision, it wouldn't taste the same. And therefore, there's really no incentive for the hotels to be purchasing overseas. What we have not had from our local industry is exactly where it is and in what quantities. And Alex has been able to solve that mischief somewhat.
It's simple, man. Just get the phone or come down to the road where the office is, register with Alex, and that's it.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come here. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now the block, cyber take about your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA, MOCA.
As we close the show for another day, we thank you for staying with us. Please like, share, and visit our webpage and social media platforms. And tomorrow, do join us again on this station for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.